Hey guys, more work done this weekend on the Daytona Coupe, and I wanted to share some tips and tricks on a rear mounted battery setup. We have rear mounted batteries in this car, and this car, and I've learned a few things doing those that I implemented on this car, and I wanted to kind of share some thoughts and theories and maybe help someone out along the way. So this looks a little busy, but that's because I have two fuel pump relays inside of this. If you remember, I have a surge pot and an in-tank fuel pump. So I have to feed two relays. And then there's fuses here as well. These are military style connectors that allow you to put everything to the terminals with ring terminals. And then these are Racetronics relays and generic fuse holders. So we'll talk about those a second. Well, first of all, here's a list of part numbers that I used for this. A lot of this comes from Summit Racing. I try to support them whenever I can. They're a club sponsor and a sponsor of the hobby. But there's a few things in here that you'll see right here that are not from Summit, just because I can't find anything from Summit that I like. So Al, if you're watching, these would be nice to carry as well. This is a Racetronics relay. Comes with crimps and seals and a secondary connection method to keep everything sealed up once you have it all assembled, as well as this little green key. When you put these together, the green key goes through there and provides a secondary lock to keep the connector on the relay. This is the style fuse holder that I use. Instead of buying this junk, which everybody sells, where you cut it and then use two butt splices to put this in line with your wiring, if you buy a holder like this, you can crimp right onto your wire, and then you have a weather pack seal, and everything is the way it should be. And then this is the wire that I really like. I've used it on 4 cars now. It's from Temco. It's SAE rated for battery supply voltage wire. It's also welding wire. Has a really nice, flexible but durable outer sleeving, and then it's fine strand, multi-strand wire, so it bends really nice. This is 1/2-inch wire loom, and it fits over that really nice, so that you can put it wherever you need to with P-clips and not worry about cutting through the insulation. It's also pretty affordable. I looked it up today. 20 feet is $62, and this is 1 gauge wire. These are the crimps I use, and then this is the crimper I use. I have a Summit Racing part number for this, which would be this guy. I think this one is $140. There's also knockoffs available, but if you're going to be in this hobby building stuff, a set of these is really nice to be able to make professional looking wire connections. And I have some pictures of what those look like along the way. And then this guy, I'll talk about it in a second, but this is a through panel connector that allows you to bring big power through a panel and also have a nice convenient spot to make hookups. So what I did was, my power wires here, it comes down, obviously it runs the length of the car, but instead of going all the way to the front of the car, I make a pit stop in the transmission tunnel, and this is one of those through panel connectors that I just showed you. And I plan to use this to wire up main power to the fuse box, and then I'm also going to have a secondary Eaton junction box somewhere in here that'll supply power to a handful of different items. Then from here, again, I run under the car, and another basically terminal block, junction block, whatever you want to call it. So this one is power coming from the back of the car. This is power to my starter. And then this is power up to the alternator. And that's on a 150 amp inline fuse. This is 4 gauge wire on a 150 amp fuse. Everything else is 1 gauge wire, and it's hard to tell, but all of it is in this split loom tubing, and all of it is P-clipped every foot or so. I think you can see a P-clip down there if you look hard enough. The nice thing about this is, since this is a hatchback with basically a trunk that's going to be exposed by a big piece of glass through here, all my wiring is contained in the box, and I can close it up and no one will see it. Life is good. All right, thanks for watching.